This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua.
Rolling down 109 in a truck. On my ride up to the light, that's what's up. Look to my right and it's a ride rolling up. It's Lucci telling me tonight we in the club. He got the 24 road Escalade. He got the Lamborghini doors like they blades. His hammers ring cause that's how he was raised. His palace mob and tonight we get
Listen, I'm from the ghetto, the slums, the rats, the roaches, the bums. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua. Let's go. Welcome to 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua. We back again. Now, this story here, I'm telling the story for my man Gino. Yo, Gino, this one for you, King. You told me to come back, tell some of them Strong Island street stories. We got one here on deck. I just did a Z Black story on another big channel, right? It got about 20,000 views now in like 1 or 2 days, right? But the brother chopped it up so bad, he mangled it, right? Like, it's horrible. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to grab as much as I can, and I'm gonna put it on this channel. I told the official Z Black, the legend Z Black story official, but the brother chopped it all up. It was an hour-long video. He chopped it down to 38 minutes, dude. Took all the context, made the story sound like it wasn't even real, like crazy. So I got that coming for y'all. I'm gonna put that on here. All right. Now I got you, Gino. Let's go. This is official story. All right. Now, before I start this video, I want to apologize first for saying the N-word so much. But that's how I talked back in the early 90s. And I gotta keep the story official and true to form. Whenever I tell a story, I go back in time to there. So I have to speak the way I spoke to keep it 110. But I apologize off top for saying the N-word so much. All right, let's go. 25 to Life. This is official story. All right, now, this is the time, guys. It's Vic season going on. This is what we called it back then, Vic season, because they were stick-up kids, victimized, Vic season. The stick-up kids was on. This was that same time when I told the story about the phone booth, when the stick-up kids caught me at the phone booth. Remember that? When I was dumping? And this is the same time that, remember L, the story I told when L was walking and it was foggy and he was in the middle of the street and he had that big stick? That story, this is the same time. This is the same time. We called it Vic season. It was so on and foggy and on every night that I was at war with the stick-up kids. All right, this is that time. It was we even wrote a song about that time. I said it was a nightmare on Elm Street and Freddie was smoking blings. What that means was Elm Street was the name of the street that I'm about to tell y'all about. It's called Elm Street. It's right up the street from Parkside Projects, leads into the dead end. So my block that I was hustling on our own was Elm Street. So the song said it was a nightmare on Elm Street and Freddy Krueger was smoking blings. It was a nightmare on Elm Street and Freddie was smoking crack. You heard? It was a nightmare on Elm Street and Freddie was smoking blings. Beetlejuice bounced bit from Clive to Stephen King. So I was saying around like all the horror stories, the horror. So Beetlejuice passed a blunt from Clive Barker to Stephen King. Those are the dudes who make the scary movies, horror movies. All right. So that's what we was talking about. So it was a nightmare out there. All right, now let's go. So this is the same time. Now listen clearly. This is after the time. So you got to watch the video if you haven't. The video of the stick-up kids caught me at the phone booth. This is after they caught me at the phone booth, right? So now it's on. Remember that story after the phone booth, right? So I was like, yo, if I ain't sleeping again. They're not going to catch me because they could have wet me. They could have killed me at the phone booth, right? So I'm like, nah, it's on. So now I think this is probably after the thing when L was walking with the big stick and it was foggy that night. So here we go. Now, I come from Queens. I park on my block. If y'all know, I don't think I even told that story about how I used to set up my block. That's coming in another one. So I used to park my car a couple of blocks over in the desert area. We call this part of Hempstead. I'm from Hempstead, Strong Island, Parkside Projects on the hills. That's the story I'm talking about. So there's a part on Hempstead called the desert. That's where Prodigy from Mobb Deep used to hang out. That's where his boys was from. That's where Money No and Dirty Harry. He talk about them in the book. If you listen to Prodigy book, if you got his book or you listen to a Prodigy from Mobb Deep, he talk about Dirty Harry and Money No, and he also say the desert. So the desert is close to Parkside. The desert is where that store, Nancy's store, that in the story where L robbed the store and the little kid said, "We know you. It was LL. It was LL." That's that store. That's the desert. That store was on the desert. right? So I used to park my car on the desert, and then I had a breakdown bike that you unfold it, right? You unfold it. I bought this specially, and I have an all black boots, black hoodie, black coat, everything all black. So a black breakdown bike. So I pop my trunk, take the bike out, open it up, put it together, lock the trunk, lock the car, and then I would ride to the projects so that if anything ever happened, my car's far away from my spot. So they couldn't get my car if something happened to me, right? I was very smart, always smart, but not smart enough not to know not to hustle. It is what it is. It's just a part of our environment. All right, so let's go. So I parked the whip, right? Broke down the bike, right? So when I got out the car, I break down the bike, and I get on the bike and I start to ride, and I'm like, it's foggy again. For some reason, during this time, it was like foggy every night. I mean, thick fog where you can't really see in front of you. This fog wasn't as thick as it was when LL was walking with the big stick and he couldn't even see him. It wasn't that thick, but it was foggy, right? And when it's foggy, now remember, it's 12. My block was I would get there at 12 a.m. because I was living in Queens. I think was I living on Farmers? I think I was living on Farmers. Right, Farmers in Linden. Shout out to Queens. So yeah, I think I was living on Farmers in Linden. So I get to my block at 12 a.m. until 6 a.m. So I get there at 12 a.m. I get to Parkside and Hempstead. I drive from Queens to Hempstead at 12 a.m. And then by the time 6 a.m. when the sun start to break, that's when I leave. All right, those are my hours. That's my street. It's Nightmare on Elm Street hours. Facts. I had put it in. I had put in some work. I'm gonna tell y'all another story. I put in a lot of work to get those hours, and I wasn't allowing nobody to come and hustle on that block at that time. And it was on. I got some stories coming. There's some real stories coming official. Everybody who know. If you wasn't there, I ain't talking about you. You wasn't there. If you wasn't there, if you don't know about this, you wasn't there. You was probably somewhere else, hustling somewhere else in another town or city or something, or using another block. You wasn't there. So we ain't don't take nothing personal. You wasn't there. If you was there, you know what I'm talking about. It was only 2 or 3 dudes at the shacks that was out that night. I forgot the other dude that was at the shacks, the tall dude, Brad. I think that's his name. He dead. Brad had another spot over around the corner from the shacks down the street. It was me. I had my block. It was a couple of them out at the shacks. It was Brad was out, and then that's really it. Nobody else was really messing around out late at this time. All right, I'm talking about a specific time. Those who know. All right, get out your feelings. I don't care about your feelings. We telling the truth here. These are all facts. It is what it is. All right, now, so it's on. After they caught me at the phone booth, guys, right? So watch that story. My head messed up. First of all, I was already at war with them, but they almost got me. Like they got the drop on me, kid. I was dead. I was wet. Only now I know that it was the Most High that saved me, that I wasn't splattered against that phone booth wall. All right. So after that, I'm on go on I am dumping. Every time I see a red Cherokee, a white Mazda, a burgundy Pathfinder, and I think it was 2 more of them, but them 3, I totally remember every time. I had my lookouts. I had my boys telling me every time when I would get there, they would be like, the red Pathfinder's out. And I would get on my bike and go on a mission looking for them. All right. Because this is that time. Remember, I told y'all that they robbing us, but then they robbing my people in my hood, but they're not only robbing you, they shooting you. And remember, I told you it had to be something personal. It was Freeport dudes. Freeport Strong Island. Stand up, everybody from Freeport. This is back then. All right. So now, this had to be, what year is this? Because this is before L got locked. So this had to be 1990. All right. This is stick-up season. 90, the raw, rough, early 90s, Murder One time. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right. So I'm finished to take the breakdown bike out the trunk, right? I start riding. I'm looking. I'm like, man, it's foggy again. So I'm like, whatever. I kind of like the foggy because I can hide from the police better. All right. So every now and then the police would try to come through. They used to be really shook to come through because there was so much gunfire. But every now and then you get those brave cops. Those don't give a shit. Those buck wild cops, they don't care. They just as buck as us, right? They would come through. So I would light the fog so that I can hide. Like, you know what I mean? How lay the bike down and be like, it would be, they got trees and everything so you can hide better. And I would usually always shoot the street lights out. That was my thing. I got another video telling you about that. That's going to come. My thing was I would always shoot the street lights out to make this block dark. So I would go down and try to shoot all the street lights out to make my block dark, pitch black. And it's on and popping. Let's go. Murder One, Nightmare on Elm Street is what it was called. Everybody know Elm Street. All right, now, Elm Street in South Franklin, Elm Street and Laurel, right by the projects, Parkside in effect. Let's go. So now I start riding. I get over there. By the time I usually get there, by the time I get from the desert to ride my bike to Parkside, everybody, I usually have a whole, it's like 40 fiends out there waiting because I got the bells, first of all. I got the ding dong, the bells, ding dong, the witch is dead. I got the bells. If y'all, those who don't know, these are old school terms. The bells means my crack is so raw. It is just pure. I would cook it until down to the oil. Anybody who know I'm talking about now, that we're not glorifying this. I'm just telling you, this is 1990s. I did my time for all this stuff. We're not glorifying it. I'm just telling you, these are my life stories. This is how I became Uncle Yahshua, the man that I am now, of the Most High, trying to do the right thing, and survive this traumatizing life that a lot of us have suffered from. So I'm not glorifying it, but this is just facts. So I would cook. Yes, I was Chef Boyardee. I would cook my own stuff. I would cook the crack, the coke, down to the oil, to turn straight to the oil and bring it, rock it back up. So whenever you would do that, that's the purest form that you can get when you strip it all the way down and bring it all the way back. And I would not overload it with baking soda. So I would have the Ricky Raw. I'm talking about the bells, ding dong, the bells. I'm talking about bells where people would come from other hoods, other cities looking for that. Looking for Rod, like, yo, where that at? So by the time I get there, 12 o'clock in the morning, it's it's like 30, 40, 50 people lined up, already waiting. So all my crews out there, you got Sam was my captain, Sammy. Mike was my lieutenant, right? Those two, Sam and Mike, those are my boys. Those are the captains and lieutenants. They were smokers, right? So everybody out there with me who worked with me were smokers, but they were OGs. They were oldest. Like my older generation, they the ones that got hooked on heroin and crack too. You know what I mean? The OGs who were official. So they're official. I didn't look down on my OGs, even those who were on heroin, who were dope addicts. I didn't look down on them because they're dope addicts. I grew up under them, seeing them putting it in. I seen how official they was. So I wasn't the type that now all of a sudden, I'm young and getting it, and now they are either, smoking crackheads or dope addicts, that I'm looking down on them and treating them like they crackhead. Nah, I never lived like that. I'm not cut from that cloth. You feel me? And so that's who was out in the streets, and that's who, you know what I mean? So I had my people. So now again, I'm not glorifying this. These are just facts. So Mike and Sam was my captain and lieutenant. Then I had Sconey, shout out the box, Bosconi. Now these are all official. Every last one of them, these people are still alive and out there. Anybody that's still out there, Hempstead, tell them, these people I name it, tell them to tell you this story. They was there. They'll tell you facts. So Sconey, and then we had Leon. It was a lot of them. And then we had Crazy Crackhead Michelle from around the corner. Wait till I tell the story of Michelle. Michelle saved my life. Crazy Crackhead Michelle saved my life. Shout out to Shelly Shell. I hope she's still alive. I hope she's clean or whatever. Shelly Shell saved my life. All right, I've got that story coming. So it's popping. I'm talking about, I got my block, Elm Street is popping. I'm talking about by the time I get there, by the time I bounce, I'm probably gonna make about 4,000. All right, straight cheese. All right. Now I did all my time for it. So this is past tense stuff. I did my time for this. All right. So I served my sentence. So we popping. Everybody waiting. So I get there. So by the time I pull up, I can see the corner. So the corner of Elm and Laurel, right? That's the projects is right across the street. So it's the corner right here and the project is across the street. And if you go, so let's say this is the corner of Elm, right? And the street goes this way. That's Elm. And then Laurel goes this way, right? And the projects is sitting right here. So I'm on Elm and I'll be up and down this street. That's my street. Now, if I take this, right, the corner of Elm, if I go this way, right here is the next corner. That's Maple. That's where the phone booth is, where they almost caught me. That's when remember they were shooting and try to wet me at the phone booth. Watch that, the stick up kids, watch that video so you can have context. So that now you got an idea. So when I ride back from the phone booth, brick step, I ride back, that's the corner of Elm, my block, where I'm hustling. And then the projects is right here, right? So I'm coming from this way, my bike, because the desert, that hood is over here, right? And so I'm riding my bike. I'm coming from this way to get to my corner, right? So now I get to my corner. By the time I was calling up, I could see it's lit up from the street. Like I could see 30, 40 people out there, right? I'm like, oh, it's lit up. So they like, yo, I know Bosconi usually the first one come running up to my bike. Yo, hit me off, hit me off. I got mad because they making money. You know what I mean? They killing them. You know what I mean? And plus, they get hot, so it's party time. Like when no disrespect, but when I had the streets out there, it was so popping. Like it was like everyone was taken care of. Everyone was happy. I wasn't allowed people to, be disrespecting the crack kids and doing all this stuff. Everybody was eating. They used to be dancing in the street. It used to be crazy. So it was crazy. They used to be happy. The hood was happy. Fact. I mean, the late night, see, it's a different, y'all got to understand this. I'm sorry that I'm taking this long, but the context, I got to get you to understand what was really happening. Understand? This was the early 90s. This was like 93, 94, all right? This is like the early 90s. Crack is at its apex. This is the nightmare zombie land. Zombies. I'm talking about crack tore our hoods up worldwide. I mean, I don't know if it was worldwide, but I know New York and I know United States was tore up. I don't know what other states was tore up like that in the 90s, but New York was tore up. It was a graveyard in every hood, right? So what I'm saying is a lot of the hoods would be starving because a lot of the crack dealers used to treat the crackheads like crackheads, right? They used to beat them up, especially in my head. They used to beat them up. They used to steal, rob them, kick them, like, get out of here, take their money. And then to me, it made no sense because that's who's supplying. That's your customers. Like that's like you got a store. Listen, it's like you got a delicatessen, and as your customers come in, you treat them bad and kick them out. No, like that's who paying your bills, dude. And plus, to me, guys, listen clearly. They were people. Those are my people. Yeah, they got a drug problem. Yeah, but that don't make me look at them as less than people. Like, I'm not going to treat them like crap, dude. I just couldn't do it. I'm not built like that. And I didn't see them like that. I just seen them as my people that are messed up. You know what I mean? They just messed up. They got a bad habit and it just is what it is. So that love and respect I have for them is the same love and respect they have for me. That's why I never got snitched on. Never. I never got set up by no fiends. Now, I did get set up. That story is going to come, but it wasn't no crackhead. It was a whole so-called blood member, a whole so-called New York blood member set me up. Facts. That story's coming. Gino, tune in. That story coming, King. All right, now listen. I don't treat them like that. They never turned me in. They never set me up. They always looked out for me because I looked out for them. Facts. If they ain't had no money, listen to this. They ain't had no money. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. They've been spending all night, hustling, bringing money all night. Then they come up, they fiend it. They know I'm about to bounce, right? Because I bounce at 6. And they come up, it could be a girl, a female, a woman, a whatever. And they come up and they like, yo, Rob, I don't got nothing, Rob. Could you please bless me with something, Rob? I ain't got no more money, Rob. I spent everything I can all night. I did all, and you know how I've been knowing how to do? Here, yo, Mike, come in. Yeah, hit him off. All right, you good. Yo, I swear, Rob, I love you. I'll take care of you tomorrow. Nah, you good, you good. I'll give it to you tomorrow. I'm gonna have it for you tomorrow. Nah, you good, man. I don't need it. You good. I love you, Rob. Love you too, man. Go ahead, right? And you know what happened 9 times out of 10? The next day when I get there, when they fresh, they be like, yo, Rob, I got that for you. They're a crackhead. Remember when Biggie Smalls made this song? He said, never give a, so we say, don't give a crackhead something because you'll never see your dough. No. When he's made that song, I said, that's a lie. He never hustled to the level that I did because I have them bring back all the time. Facts. And then if they get to the point where they can't and they really couldn't and something went left, it wasn't that bad. I understand the addiction. I understand why it happened. Nah, you good. You sure? I ain't gonna, well, I'm gonna whip you out. I'm gonna beat you down. I'm gonna do it. Come on, man. You know what? You good. Scratch that. Tomorrow start over. I got you, Rob. I got you. You know what? Come back the next day. They come back and they hustle it all. Yo, Rob, they be bringing, they'll bring a fiend all the way from Martin Luther King Drive. They bring a fiend from Terrace, from the Heights. I'll be like, where you get this thing? I grabbed him all the way from the Heights, Rob. He got $100. Right? With that chip off some of it? Yeah, that's a fact. I'm not promoting none of it. I just need y'all to understand this is what my reality was. Those were my people, dude. I was out there with them every night, 7 days a week, from 12 a.m. to 6 in the morning, in the crackhead prostitutes, like crack houses, like the lowest of the low, the forgotten. Those are my people. I was with them. And I didn't ish on them. Pardon I don't want to curse. I didn't shit on them. Man, I can't believe that's making me emotional. You know how it's making me emotional? That's how real this is. See, I'm not saying other people be telling fake stories, but my stories are so real that they touch my own heart because I remember I go back to that time when it was, and it wasn't okay. Like my people were poisoned. Like they put that stuff into the streets to destroy my people, and I had to watch them be destroyed. And I participated in the genocide because I didn't know no better. I had no mother and father, so I had to eat myself. All right, I'm just letting you know it wasn't okay. Man, I can't believe that made me emotional. And I ain't, y'all know, whatever. I'm about to say I ain't soft. I knock y'all out. I knock one of y'all out facts. All right, I'm just saying, and I won't knock one. Yeah, I'm a man of the Most High. I'm just all over the place. Just, all right, just understand. Just forgive me. It's that serious. This is that real. All right, now let's continue. And I'm gonna leave this in. If y'all just looking for content, y'all just want to see stuff, like my man, the channel I just did, he just wanted a booty bandit story. I'm like, dude, there's more to it than that. I got context to this. He took all the context out and destroyed the story. You feel me? All right. I'm a context king. Context is key to it. This is a channel about substance. It ain't just about, oh, I was in jail and they stabbed this nigga. He stabbed me in the booty. Like, come on, dude. You get that all day. This is substance here. It's a real channel. Facts. Ain't no made up stories here. You can't make up a story that touch you like that. You heard? Now, let's go. So I remember I pull up. I think Sconey came first. Like, yo, it's popping. It's popping, right? They all happy. The streets was happy. They were lit up because I would take care. That's what I was talking about. I would take care of everybody. Like everybody was paid. They was happy. I remember when Sconey told me, he was like, Ra, I hope nothing ever happened to you, Ra. Because he been out there smoking. He's like, I ain't never seen us these streets like this, Ra. You take care of everybody. He's like, man, when you leave, everybody dancing, everybody happy, and they go home, they come back the next day. You know what I mean? And that's crazy. It's sad to say, right? That's crazy. Like, what happened to our people? Okay, sorry, I'm digressing. I'm not about to digress back into that again. All right, now, so they happen. Streets is popping. My hood, my block popping by the time I get there. So now, I remember, so usually Sconey be the first one, either Sconey or Leon be the first ones that will run up to me, right? And so I'd be like, all right. So I'd be like, all right. So I take my stuff out. I give Sconey a little bit of, I give him a little bit of stuff here. I give him like 10 joints, right? I was selling in vials, right? Crack vials like this. So I give him like 10 joints. I can't give Sconey too much or Leon too much because they really smoking. So you give them too much, they might mess it up. You know what I mean? So I can't give them too much. So I give him like 10 and let him go do his thing and come back, right? So then, but Mike and Leon, Mike and Sammy, I give them a whole a package, right? So Mike, so I took care of Leon, I took care of Sconey, I took care of whoever else. Some of the other ones who would linger around, I would give them 1 or 2 to go try to hustle, because they'll try to sell it for more and come back. You know, they trying to get themselves started. You know what I mean? So I hit them off, here, take that, go do something. You know what I mean? So then by the time, so once I take care of all them, because they come running up to the bike, I take all them, then Mike and Sammy come up. So I hit Mike up. I'm like, here, give him his whole package. Give Sammy his whole package. Once I give them theirs, they gonna go to their house, whatever's divvied up, then they come out. They probably gonna go smoke, because that's what everybody would do. So once I first get there, listen, this is just true story. Once I first get there, and then I hit everybody off, they take care of all, because there's already a crowd waiting for me at this time. By the time I get, they waiting, because they know 12 o'clock I'm coming with the bells, ding dong, the bells is here, right? So they waiting. So what they would do, everybody would take care of all the crowd that's there, right? Then the crowd would go, once you give it to them, everybody going to the crack houses to smoke. They're going to the spot, everybody going to smoke, right? This is the first round. This is how it works. They all going to smoke. So then I would hit Mike and Pooch off, and Sammy, whose name was Pooch too. So I'll hit Mike and Pooch off, and then they would go, right? So then they would go. So what happens was, once I hit everybody off, everybody go, but everybody goes for a little while, because they all going to smoke first. That's just what it was. So by the time everybody leaves, it's really like empty out there. It's only me on the corner. And then if L might come from walking somewhere like, yo, Raw, hit me off, because he want to pack it so he could go hustle, right? Or whoever else, any other young hustlers like L that want to come and buy off me. Now I'll give them extra for what they buying, so they can go make some money over at the shacks on any other part, right? So, and then some of the scragglers around who I won't put nothing in their hand, because you can't trust them. I won't put nothing in their hand, because them niggas will not come back. The crackhead. So they'll stay around just to try to catch a sale. They'll try to go up the street and pull a sale to me, so I can get the sale and then give them something, so they can go and get high too, right? But I know everybody, you know what I mean? So I usually would just take care of everybody. It's just what it was. So now this night now, sorry I took so long, but you needed to understand the whole visual. So now this night, I remember when Mike came up, Mike said, yo, Ra, something ain't right out here tonight. So I said, what? He said, it don't feel right out here tonight, Ra. He said, I seen the red Cherokee riding around, and I seen the burgundy Pathfinder riding around. I was like, both of them? He said, I seen both of them earlier, Ra. They was out here. And he said, about an hour ago, it was some dude that came walking up. He was over here so across the street, there's a dead end that leads to my projects by the water tower. For all those who know, the little dead end, right, by the water tower. So he was like, yo, he pointed, he said, he was over there. And he said, I went and I rode on a bike, and I act like I was just driving past, but he didn't look familiar, right? I don't know him. So I'm like, he said, so I went and I asked everybody else, I asked Sconey and them, do y'all see him? They're like, yeah. I said, do you know him? And he said, nah, nobody knew him. So he was just standing there. He said he was just standing right by the fence, and it's dark over there in the dead end. It's by the Campbell Park, the back of the park. So, and the projects is over here. So he's like, he was just standing there. I said, well, where you go? He said he stood there for about 20 minutes, and then he just walked off. He said he walked up and walked up and just kept going up Law. So I'm like, all right. He said, I don't know. I don't got a good feeling tonight. So I was like, all right. He's like, all right, I'll be right back. Just be careful, Rob. I said, all right. So bam. So what I would do, so once Mike and them go, so everybody go. They go into all the little crack houses, or they go to their house, everybody going to smoke the first round. And then, this is the funny thing, after everybody smoke, then they all come back out, and then the streets is crazy. They all like, they all wired. Once they get their hits, they all like, it's on. They ready to hustle and get their money. So all the streets get crowded again. So what I do, after Mike said that and he left, what I usually do is I get on my bike and I ride down Laurel past the brick step, the phone booth, and I go to Michelle's house, Shelly Shell. So I go to Michelle, let Michelle know I'm here. If she was not on the block, usually sometimes she don't be there. Shelly Shell, my girl, right? So Shelly Shell, I'll be like, yo, Shell, I'm here, right? And, you know, so I hit Michelle off, let her know I'm here, because Shell, a hustler, she got all of the crack prostitutes. Shell is the lead, you know, she running all the crack prostitutes. So I'm like, yo, Shelly, I'm here, right? So I did that. I rode, I went to Shell, hit Shelly off, let her know I'm here and everything. So then by the time I rode back, everybody was back out. Okay, now, everybody back out. Now it's foggy again. So I pull up to the corner, bang. So Mike, I'm like, you ready? He's like, yeah, you ready? He's like, yo, it's a lot of money out here tonight. It's mad money. It's like, so I was like, all right. So what we would do, this is the corner, we would go into the middle of the block. And in the middle of Elm Street, there was these two houses, right? And one of them was abandoned. And there's you cut through the backyard, and then there's woods behind it, and you could be on the other side on Maple Street, but it's a lot of thick woods. I'm not raccoons and everything, stray dogs in there. You don't want to be in there without a gun. Niggas were scared to walk through there, especially at night. You do not want to walk through there. So what I would do is we would go in the street, and I would park in between the abandoned house and the other house and the entrance that lead into the woods. And so what I would do is the street is here, right? And this is a sidewalk, that's a sidewalk, other houses over here. So it'd be two houses here in the woods. And what I would do, I would back up a little bit to like the entrance of the house from the sidewalk, right? And it's away from the street light. I would back up, and then I would lay the bike down this way. And then I would sit on the bike frame like a chair, right? And so everybody else, Mike and them, everybody else got bikes. I made sure everybody got bikes. So we ride, and right, and we would lay the bikes down, and we would sit, right, and we would sit, and then we would sit down. So that's my like home base. So they would walk. So I would sit there, and they would get up and walk and go up to South Franklin. They would go everywhere, and they would go to grab to round up the fiends. Right? To go get the monies from the corners and people coming from everywhere in the cars and stuff. They would get the money. And then the people who know I'm there, they would know I'm there. They know where I'm at, and they'll come up. That's why that was that time. Remember the time I said L was walking up the street, and he had the big stick, and it was foggy, and he said, yo, Ra, he was looking for me. Somebody said, yo, Ra, somebody coming up the street. So I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, man, I see a figure, because they came riding up. It's like, I seen a figure, because you can't see in front of you. It's that foggy. It's like, I seen a figure walk. He's in the middle of the street. So I'm thinking it's the stick-up kids coming, right? So I'm strapping up. I'm pulling up the thing. I'm uncocking. I'm like, oh, I'm about to blast these niggas. They think they're coming, right? I said, they think they're coming. I'm about to get these niggas. So I was like, all right. So I went to the side, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. I went to because I'll be backing low in the bushes. I went up to the sidewalk, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna lay right here. And he said, they in the middle of the street. I know it's the stick-up niggas, because they're the only ones that'll be out. Everybody else scared, right? So all of a sudden, we sitting there laying, and I'm like, as soon as I see this nigga, I'm blasting them, whoever they are. And I know they got more. They probably on the other sidewalks walking up, because they tried to catch me before. That story coming if I ain't do it already. All right, so I'm like this. All of a sudden, we quiet. Everybody quiet. They scared. Mike and them is all in the bushes. They scared, right? So I'm right here. I'm just waiting. All of a sudden, I hear, yo, Raw! I'm like, who the fuck is... Pardon my language. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Pardon my language, guys. Y'all know I'm a minister, man of y'all, but I'm gonna keep it real. So pardon my cursing. Pardon me, y'all. So I keep it authentic. So I'm like, yo, who the F is that, right? So nigga like, yo, Raw. I said, yo, who that? Yo, where you at, Raw? I'm like, yo, who the hell is that? It's LG. I need that re-up, Ra's mad money out here, Ra. These niggas scared, Ra. I'm getting these niggas scared, Ra. I'm getting this money. Where you at, King? I said, only L. I said, yo, L, I'm right here, son. You're like, where, Ra? I can't see nothing. Listen, guys. So the nigga walking, right? So he get to a street light, so you can see through the street light on the street. All I see, this nigga got a big stick. This nigga walking with a big walking tall stick. This nigga walking. I said, yo, Al, what you doing? I got a stick, bro. I ain't got no ratchet. I'm going to bust these niggas in the head.
Crush him, bro. I'm going to crush him. You know it. I'm going to crush him.
And then the people who know I'm there, they would know I'm there. They know where I'm at, and they'll come up. That's why that was that time. Remember the time I said L was walking up the street? And he had the big stick and it was foggy. And he said, yo, Rod, he was looking for me. He was looking for me because he know that's where I sit, but it was so foggy he couldn't see me. And that's why I said, hey, I'm right here, right? Okay, so this is that time. So now I'm sitting there. Now it's about 2:00 in the morning, right? Time went past, right? So what I usually do is I usually smoke a blunt. Now this is key. When I park the bike, after I get back from Shell, I park, everybody set up, everybody got their packages, the business is open, the store is open, right? So what I usually do is sit down, and then I'll usually have a blunt that I brought with me. And I crack the blunt, right? And I'll roll a L, right? And then I'll smoke. The reason why I would always smoke a blunt is because the weed would get me paranoid. The weed would have me really on point. With the weed, I'm like this. I'm like, anything that twitch, anything, I ain't trusting nothing when I'm high. Like I am on 1,000 alert. I'm mad power. Not power where you scared, but power where I am on point. I'm talking about I could see through walls like facts. It's that serious. Now, when I don't smoke, I'm boo-boo the fool. And what I mean by that, I am not scared. Like I do stupid stuff. Like I do fearless, stupid stuff that I would not have done if I would have smoked weed. There's no way if I would have smoked that blunt, I would have did this dumb stuff, right? And every time I got knocked, it's because I wasn't high. Because I'm just stupid. I don't care. I'm just doing stupid stuff, right? So that's why that was the first thing I would always do. All right, so bang, I did it. Smoke my L, have to always smoke. That story is going to come in handy another time while I'm telling that. So this is part one of a series. We're going to make this a series because it's a whole season of this stuff that I got to tell y'all about. And it all connects. So remember that. That's going to come in handy a lot later. You're going to be like, wow. So anyway, I smoked the L, right? So once I smoked the L, now I'm on everything. I can see everybody who move. I could smell people coming up the street. Facts, right? So then, whatever. So then Mike come back. And he riding up the street and he pull over to the thing. He let the bike down and I could just feel his energy. He's like, yo, Rob. I'm like, what? He said, I told you tonight ain't right. I'm like, what? He said, you remember that dude I said that I saw? He back. I'm like, what? He back, Rob. Where? He back over there in the dead end, by the water tower. By the gate. I said, what are you doing there? He's just standing there, bro. He's like, I'm scared, right? Facts. And Mike ain't no punk. Mike is a big jail dude. He get big, but right now he's smoked out, but he ain't no punk. Mike said, I'm scared, bro. And I could tell. And what y'all don't know is, guys, I've been at war. I'm talking about this is killing season. This ain't no make-up stories. This is real life. Everybody talk all that tough stuff. You know how the niggas talk all that tough stuff, right? And then they get knocked and start snitching. They talk all that gang, you blood, you all this, and they get knocked and tell on everybody. This ain't those days, nigga. Pardon my language. This ain't those days, my G. We doing ours. It's official. Kill it, be killed. No snitching season. None of that. It's official. Mike saying he's scared is some true stuff. It ain't no punk stuff. Mike, like, I'm scared. When he said that and the way he's looking at me, I was like, all right, it's on. So I said, all right. I said, stay here. I said, grab your bike. Pull it back. I said, pull it back. I said, I'll be right back. So now I'm about to go see who this nigga is. So I jump on the bike. So I'm riding down up Elm to go up to Laurel. So I'm riding down. So when I get to the corner, I can see, because in the dead end, there's no street light. So it's dark, right? And he by the fence, by the what's the name? By the water tower, Hempstead water tower. So I'm like, so I could see he got on all black. So when I get to the corner, I could see him standing there. So I stopped. Now it's a street light on the corner. That's where Mighty K house is. The corner of Elm is Mighty K house, right? And Mighty K grandma just be like, get out, stop all that gunshot. She's like, I'm gonna call the cops on y'all. Y'all keep that gunshot up. So I was trying to keep the gunshot silent because, Mighty K mom's is his grandma's is well respected. She had the gambling spot, right? Where the old timers be gambling and stuff, right? But we be out there 2, 3 in the morning, right? So anyway, the corner house is Mighty K house. And it's a street light on the corner. And at this time, Mighty K is he's young. He's probably like 12, 11 years old, something like that, 10. He's young. So I stand on the corner by Mighty K house and I'm looking. So I stand and I know he could see me because I'm under the stoplight, under the street light. So it's yellow like a street light and my bike and I'm on the corner. I'm doing that purposely. So I stop and I stand and I look at him and I know he can see me and I'm just looking at him, but I can't see him because he's in the dark. All I can see is just a silhouette of blackness. So I'm sitting there, I'm just looking and he's just standing there. So I get on, so I stop like this on the bike. So I get back on the bike and I start pedaling. So I start going. So this the corner here where I'm standing. He's here, right? And the dead end is right here. So I get on the bike and I start pedaling towards him. So I start pedaling towards him and I'm going closer. He's right here. I'm getting closer and closer and closer. And I go and I get right next to him. And I don't know who this is. He got on all black. He got a black hoodie on. He just look at me and I look at him and he's smoking. He got a cigarette and he goes like this. And you see the cigarette light up and I just look and I ride past and I'm like, so then I just turn and I start riding back towards the corner. In hindsight, I don't know, something was off. Now I'm thinking about this right now. I'm thinking about this in this moment. Listen, Gino, I was the most high. You know why I'm thinking about it? First of all, that was the most high. The most high had me smoke that weed. Listen clearly, guys. If I didn't smoke that weed, I would have pulled out on that nigga. Facts. I would do some stupid stuff, right? And he probably would have had to drop, or he probably had his hand on his joint ready for me to do anything and probably would have got the drop on me, right? But I know if I didn't have that weed, I probably would have pulled up, nigga, who you? Like, on some crazy, stupid stuff. But that weed, that weed had me on point. But now I know it's the Most High covering me. But listen, now I'm thinking about it because I'm telling this story now. It's hindsight, 2020. It's real stories, all right? This is real facts, true story stuff. That's why it's true stuff. I'm remembering and I'm thinking of how you felt and thoughts. All right, you can't make this stuff up. So I remember I turn and I go, and I'm saying that because I usually wouldn't do that. There's no way I would just. So I turn, and I remember something don't feel right. And I drive back to the corner of Mighty K house and I stop and I turn and I look and he's still standing there. So I'm like, all right. So I turn the bike and I go back up the street to where our spot is at between the house. So I go back up the street and when I get to the street, Pooch is there, Sammy is there. So I get to the street. And now everyone else is kind of gone. They're still gone. You know what I mean? It's only me, Pooch, and Sammy. I mean, Pooch, Sammy is Pooch, Mike, and Leon. Because now Leon got there. So because they finished smoking their first round and they are trying to make it so and they walk back. So when I get back to there, Pooch, Sammy, and Leon is there. So I get back there, and so Mike is like, did you see him? I said, yeah. He said, who is that, Ra? I said, I don't know that nigga, man. He's like, I got a bad feeling about this, Ra. I said, yeah, me too. I said, something ain't right with this. I said, I'm about to go handle this. I said, all right, this is what I need y'all to do. I said, Pooch, grab your bike. Push it, pull it back. Leon, come. Either you coming or you gonna leave. He's like, I'm staying because he wants to stay get money. He don't realize what's about to happen. So I said, all right, y'all niggas pull the bikes in off the sidewalk, like further back, almost like to the backyard of the houses in the woods is right, kind of right there almost, right? So pull the bikes back. So they pulled the bikes back, right? And pulled my bike, right? So they kind of hidden where you can't really see them you won't really see them. You have to walk in there to look because it's dark. So I said, pull your bikes back and y'all just wait. So I said, it's on. So I took the 9. At this time, I had a 9 and a 380. I had my black Carhartt coat with the gold buttons, snap pockets, 9 in this side, 380 in this side. I pull out the 9, I cock it, take it off safety, cock it, put it in, snap the pocket. So when I unsnap that pocket and pull it out, it's already cocked. It's already, you know what I mean? I know it's stupid now. I think about it as off safety and cocked, right? Ain't that stupid? Because you could mess around. It's a hair trigger. You could do, but we young, just wild west. It's just true story facts, all right? So now I snap the pocket because I know once I unsnap that pocket, it's on blast, right? I ain't got time for all that other cocking and taking all that. So I get on the bike. I start riding up. It's on. I wish I had some drama music to play. I wish I had some drama music because it's on. So I'm start riding. Already it's on, right? Now I'm kind of crazy because I've been shooting out with them for months now. So I'm like gun crazy right now. It's just every day shooting out for life and death. Like, so you go crazy when you live in that. That's what they're doing in Chicago now. They live in so much gun shooting that you go crazy, right? So I'm kind of nuts at this point. Usually I'm not nuts. I'm saying I'm cooler than this. Like I'm not, so, but right now I'm nuts. I am 100. This is the most nuts I've ever been at gun trigger in my life. So I'm riding up. I'm playing it in my head. I'm like, I'm about to get the drop on this dude. I'm probably gonna have to blast him. I'm glad he's in the dark because I could probably blast him and nobody will see it. It's late. It's like 2-something in the morning. I'm like, I'm gonna blast this dude. I'm gonna get him because I know he got a ratchet. I know you ain't gonna be standing there without no ratchet. It's big season. You're not gonna be there without no ratchet. There's mad gunplay going off all night. It's like 4th of July fireworks. You're not gonna be there. So I ride up, right? I ride up. I get close to the corner, right by Mighty K backyard on Elm. I get close to the corner and my instincts, what I now know is the Ruach, the Holy Spirit, the Most High. But I'm gonna tell y'all now my instincts. My instincts said, no. So I dipped right into Mighty K backyard. It's a little entrance driveway. It's not, but it's grass. It's not even cement. And Mighty K, his corner, he got bushes on the corner that turn the corner. I used to hide behind those bushes from the police. That's why his grandmother said, you keep hiding in my yard, I'm gonna call the police. Stop hiding in my yard, right? So I pull the bike in. My instincts. And something ain't right. So I put the bike down in Mighty K yard. And I got on all black and I started walking through his yard. And I'm walking and I walk up and I bend down because I'm hiding behind the bushes. You can't see me. And I walk and I bend down and I look and I see the dude standing there. So I'm looking at him like, what is he doing? He's just standing there. And I sit there and I'm bent down behind the bushes and I'm just watching. And all of a sudden, he starts walking up towards the corner. So he walks to the corner. He's on the opposite corner. So it's 4 corners. This corner where I am, this corner, that corner, right? It's four sidewalks. Projects is here. The what's the name? Water Tower is here. It's the dead end. Mighty K house is here. Sister Brown house is here. I'm in Mighty K bushes, so he's in this corner right here. He walks up and stops on the corner. So I'm looking. He stops on the corner and he goes like this. And then I look and I see something. I see something like nickel plated. And it's big. It looked like a 4.5 Colt 45 long or something. It's huge, a cannon. And I'm like, so he's looking, and I look down and I could just see it in his own hand. It's big. I'm like, that thing is big, right? I'm like, ooh, that's big. It's pretty too, right? It's like chrome, shiny. It's like nickel plated. So I'm like, ooh, that thing is big. That's a cannon, right? I got a 9 and I got a 380. I don't care. Whoever get the job, that's big enough. My 9 and my 380 got baby 9 bullets, and my 9 got full size 9 bullets. You heard? So it's all good. He got a 45 cannon, whatever. Whoever get the job first, right? So I'm like, ooh, that thing big. It's pretty too, right? So I'm looking at him. So he's looking. Then all of a sudden, I see somebody walk. I'm here. He's here on this corner. I see a figure come walking up this sidewalk across from me. And I'm looking at him, and then I see him look this way, and then I look this way. Oh, somebody else is walking up. And I'm like, who the hell's that? So he walking up. And all of a sudden, he walking up, and he gets to the corner where it's a light, where you can see a little light, it's brighter. And I see a silhouette of like a AK-47 or like a Uzi or something, like a submachine gun. I'm like, oh. So I'm like, so this nigga walk up, right? This nigga got a doggone Joe Gino. This nigga got an AK-40. This nigga got a submachine gun. Uzi. This one AKs. We had Uzis back then and Tech 9s. But really, Uzis was most popular back then. I'm like, this nigga got an ooh-wop. That's the only thing I'm thinking. Like, this nigga got an ooh-wop. So I'm like, right? So I'm like, so this nigga stands on the corner. So he's looking. So I hear him say, where you go? So the other nigga, the first nigga on this corner, he walk across. He walk across to his corner. So now I'm across from them. So he get to him. So the nigga with the big 4.5 whatever. So the nigga with the ooh-wop thing, like, yo, where you go? I'm like, I don't know. He said he got that, he came up here. I can hear him because I'm right across from them. So I could hear him. He said he came across and he rolled on his bike, and the nigga looked at me. Nigga looked at me eye to eye. He said, and then he just circled around and went back. They went up the street. So the nigga was like, so all of a sudden, another nigga just comes up the same street where he was. The first dude, he come up the same, I don't know where he came from, the back of the park or something. This is my hood. This ain't even, I don't know who these niggas is. This nigga come walking up, another nigga, hoodied all out and all black. So I see another silhouette come up, and he walk up, and then this nigga say, before he even get, he say, yo, where they at? And he's like, I don't know, they went up that street. So then he walks up, and when he gets under the light, this nigga got a doggone submachine gun too. This nigga got some type of ooh-wop Tech 9 too. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, these niggas is heavy, guys. Listen to me. So this nigga got the whatever Tech 9, Uzi, whatever he got, right? So he walk over and it's in his hand, right? So this nigga walk over and he like, yo, he's like, they went up that street? He like, yeah. So he was like, all right. So I'm like, I'm too close, right? So I'm like, God, right? So I'm backing up. Now you gotta be careful because there's like, you know, you don't want to make no noise, you know what I'm saying? So I start to back up. right? And I back up into K yard. Now my bike is in his backyard. So I back up slowly, 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 slowly. And as I get back, when I get back away from the corner, away from the bushes, a car pulls up. It's the white Mazda, the one that caught me at the phone booth, guys. So I get to the phone, I pull a bike up, I lean the bike down to step off, and I look up, I hear something, like I hear rocks. I look up, and the white Mazda is turning the corner. Oh shoot, guys, listen clearly. I see the white Mazda pull out. I'm like, oh, that's them niggas, right? So the white Mazda pull up. So the three of them walk to the Mazda, to the passenger side. So they standing over the car and they talking into the car. So I back up, right? So now I'm backing up. So I get to my bike, right? So now I'm far enough away in K yard. Mike K know what I'm talking about, how long his yard was from the corner. So I get on my bike, but I can still see through, I can see them because they're under the street light, right? So I get on the bike and I'm like, I'm about to turn to go back down to tell Mike and them, like, it's on, right? So I get on the bike and all of a sudden a truck pulls up. Now, I've never seen this truck. A truck pulls up coming up the other street, coming up Laurel from the other way. And I'm like, and it pulls up and it stops. So now the white Mazda is this way, the other truck is this way, and the three dudes are standing at the Mazda. So then the truck pulls up, and I'm like, oh, shit, these niggas came to get me. Like, they came. All right. So now I'm like, shit. So I get on the bike. So I start to ride it because I'm far enough away. They on the corner. I can hear them talking in the distance. So I get on the bike and I start to ride up the sidewalk, right? To get the mic in them. It's dark, they can't see up there. You got to walk up to see. So I ride up, right? So I get to the point where Mike and them, I turn in. So Mike is like, yo, what happened? That nigga was there? I said, yo, it's on, yo. I'm like, them niggas is coming. I said, the white Mazda pulled up. I said, and another truck. I ain't never seen this truck. Another truck pulled up. I said, there's three of them. I said, yo, the dude was there. Then another dude came walking up. He got some type of Uzi or something. So Mike was like, yo, I'm going in the house. And I was like, no, because Mike lived up a little bit further. So he had to walk towards them. I'm like, no. I said, them niggas is coming up here. Them niggas already said that we down. They said where they at, and the niggas said they down the street right here. I said, these niggas is coming. I said, nah, y'all can't go nowhere. Go, push the bike back. I said, I'm about to wet these niggas. They coming. You know what I mean? I said, they got mad shit. I said, I'm gonna wet these niggas. They coming. All right. So now Mike is scared, right? He want to leave. I'm like, you're not leaving. Nobody going nowhere. Who's scared too? Leon's scared too, right? But Mike is really scared. Mike is nervous, scared. So I'm like, nobody going nowhere. So I'm like, yo, Pooch, calm Mike down. And he's like, all right. I said, just sit in the back. They can't see you. So they take the bikes and they move a little further back. So I got my bike there, right? So they pull mine closer back to them, but not as far back. So then I walk up to the street and to the sidewalk, and I look up the street. And when I look up the street, I see somebody on this side of the street walking up. And I'm like, I said, here they come. So I see a nigga walking up this side of the sidewalk, right? So I back up, and I tell them niggas. So I kneel down on my knees, it's grass, and I'm like this, right? And I'm watching. So I got the 9 up, right? So I'm like this, I'm watching. So the nigga walk up the street. He walks up the street. So I'm like, what these niggas? He walks up and he stops. Like, so I'm here, he stops about right here on the sidewalk. So he's looking like this. Then all of a sudden, somebody, it's like, I didn't even see him. He was on my side of the street. He was close too. He wasn't that far. So it made me, and he was like, I was like, oh shit. So then he was like, they was just looking and the other niggas looking. So he walked, the other dude on the other side, he walked out into the street, a little far from the street light, but you could see him. So he walked and he's looking. And then the third dude was on that same side of the street. He came up and he walked, but they got their joints up. He got his joint up. The other dude got it. Like it's out and up. Like they looking for us, right? So I'm like this. Now I'm thinking, I have to think in the moment. I'm like, I gotta make sure I shoot them all fast. Okay, because they got something crazy. Like they got these submachine guns, they crazy, right? So I'm like, I gotta make sure I shoot them all fast to get them all, right? So the one that was on this side, he gets into the street, and the one that was on his side came, they both went to the street. And they're like, yo, where them niggas at? He's like, man, they out here. And so one of the dudes said, I don't like this shit. And I'm laughing on the inside, right? I'm like, you better not. I said, you shouldn't, because your ass about to be wet. Like, them niggas about to be wet, right? So he's like, I don't like this shit. Pardon my language. I just got to tell the story as it is. He's like, I don't like this shit. So then the other nigga that's on my side, he got a Uzi or something. He goes into the street and he like, yo. He said it kind of loud, like, yo. And when he say yo, I hear Mike and them behind me, like they made a noise. And I said, and I could see Mike trying to back up. And as he tries to back up, I'm like, stop. So I'm like, stop. So push grabbing myself. So Mike is scared to death, right? So then when the nigga said, yo, and then he looking around. And I'm like, then all of a sudden, the car pulls up, the truck I never seen. It pulls up and it stops right where the dude that was on the sidewalk by me and the other two dudes at. It stops. And when it stops, the doors open. Like 5 niggas get out. When the doors open, them niggas get out, all I see is everybody got submachine guns. Like my heart, them niggas got out and it was like, yo, where these niggas at? Oh, shit. Mike and them could see them. So when the niggas got out the car and they had all these submachine guns, all I know is I hear Mike, I hear behind me, like leaves crunch. And I look and Mike is trying to back up. I'm like, and he's trying to back up. And every time he back up, I hear, and I look. And them niggas, the only reason why they didn't hear it is because they were talking. The dude's like, yo, where the fuck they at? They was here. Them niggas out here somewhere. That's the only reason why they didn't hear the leaves. So all of a sudden, the nigga Mike, and I'm like, stop. And he's scared. And he back up again. They go crunch, crunch. I take my 9, I turn, I say, fucking kill you, Mike. Stop. He like, lay. He just lay down. Put your fucking head down. Pooch go and put his head down. That's my boy. But we about to be dead, guys. Listen clearly. These niggas, listen clearly. They got so many submachine guns that if they would have just did like this, turned and said, we dead. There is no, my guns ain't doing nothing to no Uzis, to no techs or whatever those was. And they had 5 or 6 of them had them in their hands. If they would have just turned and said, we just dead. So I had no choice. I turned that gun on Mike. Pooch went, made him put his head down. Keep him there. He's like, turn. I lay down. I lay down on my stomach like this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to chop him down. I lay down on my stomach and I just wait. Because I don't got to win, guys. I don't got to win with these guns. Not with what they got. So I lay down and I got my hands like this. So the niggas from the car, they're like, these niggas out here somewhere. So the first dude who pulled up, he was like, I don't like this, man. This don't feel right. These niggas is out here. We need to go. And the niggas in the car, then some nigga in the car was like, man, fuck that. We come to get it, nigga. We gonna get it. He's like, nah, man. That nigga know we here, man. That nigga know we here. We need to go. And the nigga was like, man, fuck that. Where they at, nigga? And then the nigga who was saying all that went into the middle of the street and he started looking around. And he looking around and I just pointed it at him. And I'm like, he gonna get it first. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. It's just on. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. And he's standing there and he's looking and he's looking and he looked right over us because it's dark. They right there, guys. I'm here. They right here in the middle of the street. I'm a little back from the sidewalk. They right there. You look. I don't know if he could feel it or not. He looked over us. He looked back again. And I could just feel he's like, let's get the fuck out of here. And the other nigga said, I told you, let's get the fuck out of here. He's like, yo, y'all come on. So them niggas jumped in, the other two jumped in, and when the other two jumped in, then the white Mazda pulled up. When the white Mazda pulled up, he was like, the niggas was in cars like, yo, where they at? And the nigga that was in the truck said, yo, let's go. Something ain't right. Let's go. And the nigga was like, what? It's like, let's go. And then they got in the truck and then he pulled off. And when he pulled off, he stuck the ooh up out the window and said, fuck. And they sped off down the street. I came up. I put the gun down. I put my head down. Shit. I take it, I uncock it, put it on safety. I turn around. They're just looking at me, Mike, Pooch, and Leon. Mike said, I'm sorry, Rob. I said, it's all right, Mike. So I'm sorry, Rob. I said, it's all right, King. I know you was just, not King, but I ain't say King, but that's how I talk now. I was like, it's all right, Mike. I know you was just scared. He's like, Rob, need to go in the house. I said, you good, man. I said, you good? You straight for the night? Just give me what you got left. I'm like, just keep whatever you had. Just give me back what you got left. You good. You be out tomorrow? I'll be out tomorrow, Robert. I need to go in. I said, you good? I said, Pooch, you good? I'm good, bro. I'm with you. I'm like, Leon, you good? I'm coming back. You're like, I gotta go. I I need a hit, right? He said, I need a hit, right? And Pooh said, I'm gonna go with him, right? I said, it's all right. Yeah, I need a hit, right? I said, it's all right. You sure? I'm like, I'm good. So them niggas pull off. So I pull the bike up to the corner, to the close up to the sidewalk. So now I'm like, all right, I have to stop them from coming. I have to ramp this up to the point where they won't come back no more. Because the way they came, they're going to catch me sooner or later. And they got way too much artillery. These Freeport niggas is coming heavy. They coming heavy. And I said, from now on, I'm shooting everything that moves. It ramped my psychosis up 1,000. That was way too close. It was way too close. I was dead. All they had to do was spray. And there's nothing I could do. From then on, when y'all hear the next story, it's black time. It's rat time. Rat, 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 rat. A night, all day, till they never come back again. Y'all can't come back here no more. Y'all can't come back here no more. It was over. It was over. True story. Vic season. Parkside Projects. Nightmare on Elm Street. True story facts. 25 to life. Keep it functional. Let's go. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua. You wanna know why they call me Lucky Lucha? This is a little story on 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua. Like and subscribe for more incredible stories every week.
Police are on the scene of a triple homicide on Long Island. It happened overnight at a home in Hempstead.
I'm from Hempstead, Parkside, the ghetto, the dog side, strong.